Woo! Good morning. Good morning, and thank you for coming. We got some fun stuff today. So first I want to give you a few updates, and then we'll get into the heart of the matter. First update I'd like to give you is on the new iMac G5. We introduced this computer in September, and it is one of the best computers we've ever designed. It's phenomenal. It puts the entire computer in the back of the display, making for the most minimalist desktop computer ever offered in the industry. And we're really proud of it. It comes in a 17-inch model, and it also comes in a 20-inch model. And it's just stunning to look at. The entire computer's in there, just floating right in front of you. And it looks beautiful anywhere in the house or the office. Now, the iMac G5 has received the best reviews of any product we've ever had. I just wanted to show you a few of them. This is Time magazine, quite possibly the coolest personal computer yet created. Apple's latest computer is as cool and sleek as its best-selling music player. That's Time magazine. PC magazine. This is PC magazine now, not Mac magazine. PC magazine, 5 out of 5 rating. Simple, stunning, all-in-one design. With the iMac G5, Apple has given Mac fans yet another reason to stay in the fold, and its unparalleled execution should attract would-be Windows PC buyers as well. PC magazine. Next up is the Detroit Free Press. The new G5 iMac is the finest personal computer I've used, hands down. Nothing comes close. If you've ever thought of switching from a Windows-based PC to a Mac, this is the deal clincher. It is simply a stunning machine both to look at and to use. And finally, Walt Mossberg. Walt's probably the toughest critic to please. And we were stunned when he wrote this and very, very honored. I'm writing these words on the most elegant desktop computer I've ever used, a computer that is not only uncommonly beautiful, but fast and powerful, virus-free, and surprisingly affordable. That's Walt Mossberg. So we're thrilled with these reviews, and we think this is going to be a very good Christmas for the iMac G5. So that's an update on the new iMac. Next up, retail. Do you know we have 93 stores now throughout the US and in Japan? It's amazing, 93 stores. And our fiscal year ended at the end of September. We had 24 million visitors we hosted in our stores in our last fiscal year. 24 million visitors. And our retail stores did $1.2 billion in revenues. So we're thrilled with this. And we think it's the best buying experience, not only for a personal computer, but for any product we know of. Now, let me share with you some of our international stores if you haven't been there. This is our Tokyo store. It's right on the Ginza in downtown Tokyo. It's the whole building, and you see, we have this rotating Apple sign on the top, which is popular in Tokyo. And it's doing phenomenally well. We just recently opened a store in Osaka as well that's doing quite well and has this beautiful floating circular glass staircase in it to get to the second floor. And today we're announcing that we're opening our first store in Europe in London next month, November 20th. We're opening up on Regent Street. And this is going to be a fantastic store, and I think our customers in London are going to love it. Now, we've also not been standing still, and so recently we introduced one of our newest innovations, the Mini Store. We have to keep on innovating. Now, the Mini Store came from an observation actually that we had when the Mini Cooper came out. You know, that really cool car? We observed that this car wasn't amazing because it was a smaller version of a bigger car. It was amazing because it had been designed as a small car right from the start. It had been designed and detailed perfectly, and it was just a little jewel. And we thought, could a retail store be like this? Could a retail store be cool because it was small? And we designed the Mini Store, and we've actually just opened 6 of them, and they look like this. They're half the size of the smallest store we had prior to them. And half the store focuses on Macs, half the store focuses on iPods. They have a lot of accessories. And again, we opened the first 6 about a week and a half ago, and our first week was really positive. So we'll see how they go, but that's what's up in retail. Next, let's talk about iTunes. Hope all of you use iTunes. It's the best jukebox out there for digital music. It's also the best music store out there. And we announced a few weeks ago that we've crossed 150 million tracks purchased and downloaded. Can you imagine that? 150 million. When we started this not that long ago, I don't think any of us would have believed that it could have gone this fast. And the iTunes Music Store has a 70% market share, week in, week out. Everybody has to report their sales to SoundScan. 70% market share, week in and week out. Now, some people, I've read some articles actually, that have said that the online music industry is slowing down. And we don't know where that's coming from. We don't normally share our data. We're pretty secretive about it. But I wanted to share some data with you today so that you can see what we see. If we look at songs sold for the last 5 months, I pulled the numbers. In May, we sold 10.8 million songs. In June, 12.3. In July, we opened up 3 countries in Europe, sold 15 million. In August, a little over 15 and a half. In September, over 16 million. And October's not done yet, but this is what we project we're going to end up with at the end of this month, which isn't so many days away. Almost 18 million songs. Now, if you look at this, in the last 5 months, that's 64% growth. So I don't know what our competitors are doing, but we're seeing some serious growth here, and we expect it to continue. Now, as you know, we launched the music store in the US, and this summer we added the UK, Germany, and France. This morning, we went live with our EU store, and our EU store covers 9 more countries. So we went live in Austria, Belgium, Finland, Greece, Italy, Luxembourg, Portugal, and Spain. So we're bringing iTunes to tens of millions of more customers, and hopefully they're going to use it. Another thing that we're really pleased to be announcing today is that next month, in November, we are bringing the iTunes Music Store to Canada. Our great customers in Canada have wondered, why not us? We're closer. And we've had to work things out with the licensing and stuff. We finally got it all worked out, so next month we're opening in Canada. So the iTunes Music Store. You know, so far we have distributed over 85 million copies of iTunes out there. And today we have a new version which is going live in about an hour. iTunes 4.7 will be released today. It fixes some bugs, adds some new features, and has some really cool things which we'll hear about in a few minutes. So iTunes 4.7 going live today. And that's an update on iTunes. So now, let's go to iPod. iPod has become a cultural phenomenon. It has changed the way a lot of people are listening to their music. And it's been called the Walkman of the 21st century, and I think there's less and less doubt that that's exactly what it is. The iPod Mini has been an unabashed hit. Our new white iPod with the click wheel has seen phenomenal success. And last quarter, we announced that we sold 2 million iPods in that one quarter. So we're thrilled with this. Now, if you look at the total number of iPods sold cumulatively, it looks like this. Look at that. Of the almost 6 million that we sold by the end of last quarter, 2 million of those were sold in the quarter itself. You can see the slope of that. I don't even know if it's a curve. That trajectory looks very positive, though. Now, iPod enjoys a 65% market share, and that's including every MP3 player, all the flash players that people get as gifts and aren't even used are in that number. 65% market share. But when you look at just hard drive players, iPod's market share is 92%. So there's a lot of product on the market. Some of our competitors say that we're not offering people choice. We're offering them choice. They just don't like the choice the customers are making. 92% market share. Now, today, we're introducing a revolutionary new product for your iPod. Socks. You know, there's all these companies that offer cases for your iPod. And, you know, sometimes we think they make more money on the cases than we make on the iPod. And so we thought we'd offer something too. And our design team came up with socks. And they're really cool, actually. You can put your iPod in them, and they go like that. They keep your iPod warm on cold days. They protect it, and they give you a little more personality. So iPod socks come in 6 colors, and you get one of each in a little package, and they're going to go on sale by mid-November for $29. So we hope you like it. So that's what's up with iPod. Now, we get asked a lot, what's next? You know, what's next for the iPod? You know, everybody loves music, and iPod will always be a music device. It's about listening to music. But we've got this great device. It's got a screen. It's got this amazing user interface with the click wheel. What else can we do with it? What else can we add to the music? And our competitors are saying it's video. Let's add video. So that's what they're doing. They're producing devices like this, the Creative Zen one in this case. There's a bunch of them coming out. And they all share some things in common. They're quite a bit bigger than an iPod. Matter of fact, they're too big to fit in your pocket, unless you made a custom pocket. They're really big. And they're too heavy to really carry around and use. And no one has any video content to put on them. It's not like music where you have your whole music library on your computer. Nobody has the content. And even if they did, the screens are much too small to watch video anyway. So we think these products are wrong. We think that video may be the wrong direction to go, and to kind of capture how we feel about our competitors making these products and putting all this engineering into these products with video, I reminded of this.
You said their headpiece only had markings on one side. Are you absolutely sure?
Belloc staff is too long.
They're digging in the wrong place.
So that's how we see this. We think video is the wrong place for the reasons that we just talked about. So what's the right place? If videos are the wrong place, what's the right place? We think the right place is photos, digital photos. Everybody has a digital camera now. Everybody is building a library of their digital photographs. Matter of fact, there's even digital cameras now in a lot of cell phones. So everybody's taking tons of digital pictures and building digital photo libraries now. So we think photos are the next big thing. Everyone has the content, unlike video. And there's no copyright issues. You own your photos. We don't have to go license them from someone. So there are no copyright issues with photos. So we think music plus photos is the next big thing. And because of that, today, we're introducing a new iPod called iPod Photo. iPod Photo is going to take advantage of all these digital photos we have and let you take your entire music and photo library with you in your pocket, wherever you go. Because iPod Photo holds 25,000 photos in your pocket. 25,000. So this is the iPod we know and love. And we're adding to the line a new iPod called iPod Photo. And as you can see, it looks the same except for a color screen. So let's look at what this buys us. The first thing it buys us is an enhanced experience listening to music. Well, how could a color screen enhance our experience listening to music? Well, album art. If you have album art, we're now automatically downloading the album art, and you can see it when you're playing the songs. You can click a button and see it full screen just like this if you want to. Right there as you're listening to your music. It's really, really nice. So that's one way where we're enhancing the music experience. Now, we're also enhancing some of the other things an iPod does in the extras, like, as an example, calendar. A little easier to use in color. And games, a little nicer in color. But the primary reason, of course, that we want this is for photos. And so you can click and you can see how it fits nicely into the new user interface, Music Photos. You click on that and you see a list, you see your photo library and a list of all of your photo albums right on your iPod. And you can click into any of them. And in the case of the photo library, you see all your photos in thumbnails. And you can use the scroll wheel to scroll through them super fast. The scroll wheel works as well for photos as it does for music. And when you pick a photo you like, you click on it and you see it large. Matter of fact, you can scroll through them large, through your whole library, and see them this size if you want. And since you've got your music with you, you can also make incredibly great slideshows with your music right on your iPod. You can view them right on your iPod. And so they look a little something like this. So it's pretty cool to be able to see these slideshows right on your iPod with your music. Now, this is great if you or a few of your friends want to see some photos on your iPod, but let's say you're with your family and a lot of people want to see the photos. Wouldn't it be great if you could put them on a bigger screen? Well, iPod Photo lets you do that because you can take your photos and put them on a television with iPod Photo, right on a TV, and it will broadcast them right on the television. And the way we do this is we ship a cable with iPod Photo that plugs right into the headphone jack, and it has right and left audio and video, and you can plug it right into most TVs. Most TVs have jacks right on the front, as a matter of fact, for camcorders these days. Just plug it right into those, and you're watching slideshows on your TV. This cable comes with iPod Photo, as well as a dock that comes with iPod Photo that lets you, again, use that cable out of the line-out jack, or has an S-video jack for even higher quality. So as an example, you can leave the dock just sitting right next to your television, walk up, plunk your iPod Photo in, and watch your photos right on your television. Watch your slideshows. It's really pretty nice. Now, when you're watching your slideshows on your television, you'll notice that what's on the screen of iPod Photo is even a little more interesting. It shows you previous and next and the slide you're watching. So it's very nice to do slideshows with. And let me show you what these actually look like right on your television. I've got an iPod Photo here. I'm going to use the video out in the same way that you would. I'm using the S-video, and it's just going to pump it right into this projector, which is treating it like a television. All right. So I've got two here I want to show you. First one here. So you get the idea. It's pretty cool. And this is the quality that you'll get on a television set. Here's another one. Oops. So you can see the kind of quality and what it's like to enjoy these slideshows. They're pretty nice. So this is iPod Photo. 25,000 photos in your pocket. Now, how do they get from your computer to the iPod? Well, they get there the same way your music does, with AutoSync. We've got AutoSync working for photos. So every time you plug your iPod in, they AutoSync, your photos are always up to date. Well, what do they sync from? Well, if you're on a Mac, well, sorry, before that, this is what the panel looks like. We've added a preference to iTunes, which is your iPod preference that sets up your music and your photo syncing. And you can choose to sync all of your photos and albums or just selected albums, whatever you'd like, just like you do with your music. And when you're on a Mac, we sync with iPhoto, of course, because that's where your photos are, or any folder if you want, but most people will choose iPhoto. What do we do on a PC? Well, we sync with your My Pictures folder, and if you have them, we also sync with Adobe Elements and Adobe Album. So if you're using any of those two programs, we automatically sync with that, and if not, you sync with My Pictures folder or any other folder you'd like on your PC. And automatically your photos will be synced every time you plug in your iPod, every time you connect your iPod, they'll be synced. So it's really, really easy. iPod Photo has an extended battery life of 15 hours of music and 5 hours of continuous slideshows, which is probably more than your friends want to watch. So iPod Photo, as you know, we currently sell a 20 gig and a 40 gig version of the white iPod for $299 and $399. And iPod Photo slides right on top of this with a 40 gig version for $499 and a new 60 gig version for $599. So, iPod Photo, it uses the 2-platter drives, so it's the size of our 40 gigabyte now, plus about a millimeter. This is the box it comes in, real easy to find, and iPod Photo is shipping today. We started shipping them this morning. So, your entire music and photo library in your pocket, this is iPod Photo. A new addition to the iPod line. And we think you're going to like it a lot. All right. So, how do you type iPod Photo? Well, we are really lucky to be working with U2. You know, U2 helped us launch the original iTunes music store. Bono came in on an iChat video conference and helped us launch it. We've been working with them ever since. They are one of the greatest bands in the world, in the history of rock and roll, and they are certainly the greatest band performing today. They have sold over 120 million albums worldwide, and they have won 14 Grammy Awards. They have 16 albums, counting their newest album, which is going to be released next month, How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb. It's going to be released on November 23rd. And we've been doing some really great stuff with U2. We've been just floored to be working with them and combined our creativity to do some really fun stuff. So the first thing we did, which I hope you've seen, is we took one of our silhouette ads and sort of combined it with a music video and made this ad that's been running now. And it was a collaboration of the band and of Apple, and we are just super pleased with it. I'm sure you've probably seen the 30-second version on television, which we ran at the beginning of the show, but we made an extended 2-minute version, which you can see on iTunes, but I thought I'd show it to you now on the big screen if you want to see it. So, yeah? Great. Let's go ahead and run it. Woo! Woo! So, that's amazing, isn't it? We love it. And I hear people that haven't even seen it on television talking about it. It's got quite a buzz because it's really good. And so we've featured Vertigo on the iTunes Music Store. And as a matter of fact, it's been #1 since the day it went up. And it's done better than any pre-release track we've ever had. It's just like broke every record. And if that is any indication, the album is going to be huge. Also, the album, when it comes out, How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb, it's going to be, iTunes is going to have an online exclusive, so you'll see that the second it's released on iTunes. But in talking with you two, we wanted to make some more products together that really take advantage of this digital music era that we're in. And one of the things that we decided to do was ask ourselves, could we go beyond the album and do something even bigger? And really leverage this digital music era. And so there are some things you can get today in the physical world that go beyond the album, and they're box sets. Here's a great one of Bob Dylan's Biograph and a Frank Sinatra collection, an Eric Clapton and the Yardbirds collection. You can buy these box sets, a great Ella Fitzgerald collection if you don't have it, and they contain up to 7, 8 CDs full of music. But there are limitations to this. And we decided in this digital music era, we can just break through those limitations. And so we've created something called the digital box set. And it has no physical limitations. And so today, we're introducing the world's first digital box set, the complete U2. And we've put this together with U2 and Universal Music Group and Apple, and it's really phenomenal. It's got over 400 tracks. Every album the band has released. And over 25 rare and never-before-released tracks. This would fill over 30 CDs. So you can imagine it's impossible to have a product like this in the physical world. And yet, in the digital music era, you can buy this product with over 400 tracks by pushing one button. One click will download this entire complete U2. Now, broadband is required. And you can buy these over 400 tracks coming soon for $149. That is over a $400 value at 99 cents per track. So the complete U2, is going to be available on the same day as their newest album because it contains their newest album, How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb. On November 23rd, this will go up on the site, and one button will get you the complete U2, the first digital box set in the world. So those are some of the things we're doing together with U2, and we're really excited. We've got a lot of other stuff we're thinking about for the future. But there is one more thing. There is one more thing, and that one more thing is the U2 iPod. When we first started talking to the band, they loved iPods, and we talked about doing a special U2 iPod. This is the only special edition iPod in the known universe. And it's pretty great. This is, again, the iPod we know and love today. This is the U2 iPod. It is gorgeous. It is a gorgeous black with this beautiful red click wheel, and it's really something. And on the back, we've laser engraved the signatures of each band member. It's really special. So this is the U2 iPod. Now, there's a few things that come with the U2 iPod. The first one is a wonderful poster of the band, and on the back, Bono's written a really nice message. And I'm going to read it to you because I love this. The hardest thing to do is to stick together. Mates, family, marriage, business, bands. It's like resisting gravity. It's like King Canute sitting in his chair trying to talk back the tide. But you can, and we have, and we will turn the waves around. The alternative is too predictable. You rid the room of argument. You empty your life of the people you need the most. Isn't that wonderful? Anyway. So it comes with this great poster, and it also comes with a certificate for $50 off the complete U2 digital box set, wherever the iTunes Music Store is available. So if you're a U2 fan, you can get the complete U2 for $99 with this coupon inside the U2 iPod. Now, the U2 iPod is 20 gigabytes. It's our most popular size. And it's going to go on sale for $349. And for those U2 fans who buy the complete U2, that's the same $299 price equivalent as the 20 gigabyte iPod is today. And you get this custom iPod, laser engraved with the band member signatures, and it's gorgeous. This is the box it's going to come in, and these will be available in a few weeks in mid-November. So this is the U2 iPod. Now, what could be better than the U2 iPod? Well, how about U2? Thank you. Very good. Woo.
Wow, those hippies love us.
How is this going on?
Well, Stu of U2 because Larry and I have left the group, and now Steve's going to sit in on drums, which could be quite an interesting band if you think about it. Sort of supergroup Cream kind of setup. Well, we're very, very, very excited about the work we've been doing together, and it's strange because, you know, for years and years, now it's 3 or 4 years, we've watched music change shape, and technology has always been a part of music, going back to, you know, Jimi Hendrix and a little printed circuit distortion pedal, which gave you that extraordinary sound, and moving from there into you know, drum machines and samplers, which created hip-hop. Technology has always been a part of music. It's changed the way music is experienced, and actually changed the way music is being created as a result of the way it's been experienced. So we've been looking around at technology companies. Edge wanted some scientists to play with, and he was getting bored with his musician friends. And we saw before the iTunes store was put together, Apple asked to see us, to talk to us about it. It's going to be affecting our life and times if it was a success, or indeed if it was a failure. We got very excited about it. It's kind of extraordinary that music companies did not crack the problem of piracy. Isn't that a bit mad? And but you know, a lot of people in music, they still call themselves record executives. We haven't made records for a long time. Edge still plays vinyl at home. In his kitchen, actually, he has a turntable. But there's an exception to that who's here tonight, which is Jimmy Iovine from Interscope Records, who is a visionary, and a person who really believed that his artists should be meeting with the technologists and encouraged us, and it couldn't have happened without him. And so I want to thank Jimmy Iovine, who's here somewhere.
I'm known as the technology guy in U2, which isn't really saying very much, but that means that if the printer won't work, I'm the guy they call up. But what I suppose it meant was a slightly better insight into what was happening in the digital world, and it occurred to me that when Napster first got up and running, I was simultaneously very excited because I'm into that kind of thing, and also appalled at where it might lead us. And I sensed at that moment that we were entering a new era, that music and the music business had to change and embrace that era. There was no point in fighting it. And at the time, the thing that I was most excited about was that people were now using their computers to store and listen to music. And I realized that as long as we find a way for us to get paid, that is ultimately going to be a good thing. So what's really exciting about iTunes and what Apple have been doing is something that, as Bono said, the music industry failed to do. I think they couldn't have done it. I think it had to be a technology company that broke new ground and created iTunes. But it is the future. I see it as the beginning of a new era of music distribution, and I think it's very good. And that's really one of the main reasons why we're here today, and we're very happy to be part of history and the future.
Yeah. Little piece of pop history. Here's another little piece of pop history right beside us.
So I asked these guys if they would sing us a song off their new album, and they agreed to do that. And this is a song that you're going to be the first audience in the whole world to hear. It's my favorite song off their new album. So you guys sing us a song?
Yeah, we will. Ed would like you to know that he is normally a guitar player. And another thing, I want to sing this for Johnny iPod as well, Johnny Ives, and because the truth of it is, you know, if the job of art is to chase ugliness away, you know, we have to start with, you know, well, I'd start with the roads and cars. They're very ugly. But the machines that we work with every day, and Apple have made beautiful machines. There is a poetic side to their technology that we appreciate. And Johnny Ives is a really important part of that. And he created an object. To me, it's the most interesting art object since the electric guitar in terms of being in music. So, and the other thing I want to talk about the commercials, which is James Vincent and people. We agreed on a Wednesday to do this, and we didn't agree because we thought it was a commercial. We said we'll make a music video with you, and on Saturday we made one Saturday in London. We made that commercial. So these people are really very fast, and quick, yeah, and you want to be on your toes. They're brilliant, they're smart. And anyway, this is one of the 400 recordings, which is mind-blowing and like having your life flash before you. And there's some singing on there where I sound like a girl in the early 80s. I'm confident enough in my sexuality to share that with you. I can't hope that you'll ever forgive the mullet. There's some live stuff, some demos. It's the first time we came over here. And then right up to now, to this album, which we are slow learners, and I mean that. It's taken us a long time to get to the place where the melodies we hear in our heads are equal to the ones that we put out. Anyway, this is a song called Original of the Species, which was inspired by some people who are here. So, I want to try that. Never, this could be very interesting. Thank you, Steve. Great to see. Great to see Steve Jobs looking so fighting fit. I think you will agree.
Hey, thank you. That was awesome.
Good.
Congratulations.
See you later.
So imagine one of these things loaded up with every song they've ever done. Soon. I want to just thank two people. First of all is, again, Jimmy Iovine from Universal and his whole team. This wouldn't have happened without them, along with you two and all the folks at Apple that worked on this, putting this all together. And secondly, as I often do, I want to thank our families. We work really hard to do what we do. Some people have been working round the clock for weeks on this at Universal and the band and at Apple. And I want to thank our families. They let us do what we love to do. They let us fly to London on a moment's notice to shoot ads. They let us stay up all night getting these products ready. So thank you all very much. And thank you all for coming today. I hope you love these products as much as we do. And I think we just had one of the most special moments in our history. I hope you feel the same way. So thank you very much.